Hello everyone, welcome to my new video, and today we're gonna make a video for Revit users who are very beginner with the Revit software. And the plan is to make a video in 3 parts for the beginner users. So in the first part, which is this video, we are going to start a project from scratch. So in this video, we will be selecting a template, we will be adding levels and grids, and then we'll be doing some drafting on the basement level. So I'm gonna draft a residential project, which will be a small residential project, and from scratch to the end, you guys can do with me, or you can watch the video and you can do the drafting later on. So the plan is to make Revit tutorial in 3 parts, which will be like small videos. Yeah, I mean, who wants to spend hours on learning, right? So let's start with our first video, and you can see on my screen I have a Revit software open and I am in my home page right now. I haven't opened any project or family, so we're gonna do that together from scratch. So to first thing to start a new project is to hit the new section, which is over here. So you have a model section and then you have a family section. So if you are going to start a project from scratch, you should start a new model, not a new family. Like I mentioned in my previous video, what's the exact difference between a model and a family, and what are the different type of families we have in Revit. So you can go and watch that video. So in this video, we'll start creating a new model. So hit new, and I have this dialog box on my other screen, which is this one. So for this project, we're going to use the default template that we get from Revit. So let's say I want to use the Imperial Architecture template, and under that you see you have an option to create a new project or you want to create a new template. Of course, we're going to start creating a project, so we'll select the project and we'll hit OK. Okay, so now we are in project environment. So first thing we want to do before we do start our modeling, we want to save this project. So go to your file, you hit save, and then I have a dialog box on my other screen, and let me go to the folder where I want to save. So you get this dialog box, so you can save your project. Let's say I want to save it over here, and I will name it as a test project, and you hit save. The moment you save this project as a test project, you will see the name of your project at the top of your Revit screen. You can see you have a Autodesk Revit version, which is 2023. Then you have a test project. You have the name of a view that is open right now, which is floor plan level 1. So you have level 1 floor plan open, and you can even see that from your project browser, whatever view is bold, that is the view that is currently open. So you can see in the project browser it's level 1. So we are in level 1 right now. But over here we are using the default template, so most of the standards are already set and we don't need to do much there. But then after standard, what we need to see is to create levels and grids for your project. And for this tutorial, I'm going to use a sample project that I've already created. Okay, so next we want to do is we want to add levels and grids after saving a project. So I have a sample project open on my other screen, which I'm gonna take as a reference for this project. So if I simply drop that project on this screen, okay. So this is a project that I have as a sample. You can see I have grids properly measured from one to other, and then I have some levels set in this project. So taking this as a reference, we will be creating a residential project from scratch to end. And let's start with grids first. So to add a grid on your project, you need to make sure that you are in floor plan, which is level 1, and in the architecture ribbon at the end you have a section. So in the architecture ribbon at the end you have a section called datum section. In that section you have grids and levels, and you can see level is grayed out because you cannot create elevation levels in floor plan, right? So but you can create grids, so that's why grid is not grayed out. So select the grid, and you can first use the line option to create your first grid. And once you so click on one point and then to the other. Now you have your first grid, which is grid number 1. Okay, so to create the other grid, you can simply go back to the grid section and you have this pick line option. You select the pick line option and you read the dimension, the distance between the grid 1 and 2, which is 15 feet 1 inches. So I will use the pick line option over here. I will add an offset to the offset section, which is 15 feet 1 inches. When I click on the first grid, I will create my second grid to the side wherever my cursor will be. So if I want to place the grid on the left, you need to place your cursor on the left. If it's on the right, you need to place on the right. So our grid is on the right side, that's number 2. The number 3 is 16 feet 1 and number 4 is 13 feet 1. So going back to the pick line command, so the next offset is 16 feet 1, and here you go, and then you have 13 feet 1. Okay, so you have your grids ready for on your vertical axis. Now you want to create on the horizontal axis. The process is same. You go to the architecture, select the grid command, and then start placing your grids. Mostly we add alphabet for the horizontal grids and the number for the vertical grid. So I can simply click on grid and I can edit the name from 5 to 8. And when I do the offset of 8, the next grid will automatically be named as B. So going back to the architecture, grid command, and then the distance we have on reference project is 8 feet 6 inches. So you go to your offset, make the offset 8 feet 6 inches. Then you place your B grid. Then for your C, it's 5 feet 10 inches. Make 5 feet 10 inches. Then you have 1 feet 10 inches. Then 4 feet. Two inches. Then you have 12 feet. 1, 6 and 6. 1 feet 6 inches, and then 6 feet. Okay, so now we are ready with our grids. I will move these grids at the center. Okay. So next thing we want to do is we want to set our levels, which we can do in elevation view. So we'll set our level in north elevation. By default, Revit will give you 2 levels, which is level 1 and level 2. And on our reference project, we have 3 levels, which is first floor and then roof, and then we have a basement. Starting with the first floor, which is level 1, and distance is 0, 0. So we'll make it first floor, or you can call it main floor, or you can call it ground floor. It depends upon the naming convention. Then we want to have the next level at the 9 feet, and next level should be roof. And this dialog box that you just saw on your screen, let me do the Control Z. Let's make it roof. And this dialog box that you see on your screen, it says, would you like to rename corresponding views? That means if you are renaming this level in this view, all the other views will also show the same name. And yes, we do want to be persistent with our naming convention, so I will say yes. And then I want to add a basement level, which is minus 7 feet 4 inches. I will go to the architecture. Now you can see that level is not grayed out because we are in elevation view. Select the levels, select the pick command, do the offset, which is minus 7 feet 4 inches. And here you have your level 3, which will be basement level. Okay, I did another offset. Okay, now click on level 3, make it a basement, and again yes. So now we have all our levels and grids ready, and we can start doing drafting on basement floor. So to go on basement floor, you can simply select the level from the elevation view and do the right click, and you can go to the floor plan, or you can go to the project browser. You can see you have different levels. First is the basement, which we can see on our elevation view. Then we have a first floor, then we have a roof, and then we have a site. Site is by default a view that you get from the Revit template.